Knowing what I know now, I would not spend my time watching Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but I am a little curious about the sequels.
Across this great nation, almost everyone has been affected in one way or another by this terrible tomato onslaught. Mrs. Williams, I understand your husband is missing.
Yes,
Do you
he
think
is.
he's dead?
Well,
Will you miss him?
Well,
Will you marry again? What if he's laying in a ditch somewhere with both his legs broken, calling your name? You will have to find another man, you know. You're no spring chicken.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes from 1978 was directed by John De Bello, with writing credit given to Costa Dillon, John De Bello, Steve Peace, and stars David Miller and Sharon Taylor. It's typically categorized as horror, comedy, musical, spoof, and cult, and is about a government agent trying to stop killer tomatoes. This is a very silly comedy that some might not like, the kind of humor that's so dumb it's funny, the kind that my wife hates. But it's kind of like a Zucker Brothers film. It's got background gags, and it's from 1978, when it was okay to include racist and sexist jokes that wouldn't fly today. It got off to an okay start joke-wise, but I thought there was really only a few good laughs. I mean, there were many jokes, but the majority just didn't land for me. And this movie jumps back and forth between the tomatoes and non-tomato stuff like government meetings, press conferences, law enforcement organizing, political meetings, and all the non-tomato scenes get kind of boring. All the characters are flat, and some of the acting is not the greatest, but I can't say that I expected better acting from this movie. The beginning is a little bit of a mess and kind of boring besides the couple of brief scenes of the killer tomatoes. It's confusing and hard to follow. There's too many characters and storylines introduced, and it's not until about 30 to 35 minutes in when it seemed like we finally began to follow up and build on one of those storylines. I think introducing all the storylines and characters were part of another joke that just didn't land for me. And Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is a little bit of a misleading title considering the tomatoes don't get much screen time compared to the movie as a whole. It's probably 70, maybe even 80% other stuff, and the remaining being about the tomatoes. Also, more effort could have been put into the tomatoes attacking people. I know it might have been meant to be funny, but there's actually a cool idea here of tomatoes attacking people, and you clearly got people just throwing tomatoes into the shot from off screen in most of these attacks. And the ending was also very disappointing. You'd think with the government trying to stop these tomatoes that there'd be an amazing fight at the end, big explosions, and things of that nature, but there's not. It's like they ran out of steam and just wanted to wrap the movie up. This idea still has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it all in this version of the story. I would have loved for this to be more about a family dealing with the killer tomatoes instead of seeing basically all the politics behind it. And I am aware this movie is meant to be a spoof, but I'm just saying it could have been better. Apparently, others also seen the potential in this idea. Because of that, we got sequels, comics, cartoons, and even video games. Anyways, I gotta go, but if you do want to check the movie out, help me out by clicking on the affiliate link in the description, watch another review, and I'll see you later.